Hello, hello. It is Zoe, and you're listening to On Our Mind podcast. You can hear it. I know you can hear it. Once again, the sound is amazing. I'm in Université de Montréal, or Montreal University, and I'm just thriving with all these devices that we're able to use here. Lucky us, that's all I can say. So here it is Zoe being overly excited, but reassure yourself. I did a few mock-ups before this episode, and so I already got rid of all my excitement, and now I can be an adult, a responsible adult, talking to you guys, because I know how much you love listening to someone who sounds so peaceful and calm and everything when you're listening to a podcast. So what is going to be the topic of the day? The topic of the day was something I had in mind for a bit of time now, and it became more concrete in my head a few days ago when I was taking a coffee. So it's about talking about the epidemic of loneliness. So I was enjoying my first terrace of 2025 in Montreal City a few days ago, and next to me was a French woman on the phone. All I know of her is that she's here in Canada on working holiday visa, and just like hundreds of other French citizens, she's been there for 2 years now, and her biggest concern was about how lonely she feels and she had felt for the past 2 years. Starting from here, I begin to wonder, why the hell is loneliness so present among those who travel and decide to settle for months and years in a brand new environment and country? And to me, it also applies to those who aren't traveling that much. Because, yes, the first thing we can think of as being responsible for this epidemic of loneliness are social media. But we already hear about that everywhere on social media themselves. And so that's kind of funny, first of all. But I believe there's another big and obvious reason to it. Loneliness is, to me, a result of uncertainty about the future. It's just a result of the fact that people don't know about the future. Nowadays people move around. They're spending a good amount of time wondering about which places they could be better off living in. And it's often hard to say how many years you're planning on living somewhere, especially when you're in your 20s and 30s. And even more when you're single or at least not sharing your daily life with someone else. So people whoa, it's hard to read apparently. People just don't know. And when you don't know, you're hardly able to commit and invest yourself into some kind of relationship or anything, really. So this principle is nothing but basic economic behavior. In period of political, here, if we're really into like trying to dive deep into economic. In period of political uncertainty, people are reluctant to invest their money long term, as they have no clue what the market is going to look like in just a few months. And that's what causes economic recessions in period of war or government interference, when you think about it. So you get it now. People will not stop consuming, they'll just stop investing in the future. So same goes for the relationships. In times of uncertainty, people aren't going to stop seeing and meeting other people. No, of course not. But they're less likely to be emotionally invested into such relationships. And I think this is a rather subtle and unconscious phenomenon. It explains why it explains why so often people feel lonely and simply aren't able to identify the reasons for it. They're being told it's because of social media and that's it. Whereas in reality, there are other components to it. And the same way you're going to invest in a relationship by having a baby with your lover, if you can see a future with him or her, you're going to invest on your relationship if you know you're going to stick around for some time. That just makes sense. And a certain degree of certainty about the future is a key component for investing into something. So, loneliness here, especially in your 20s and 30s, as I said earlier on, comes from people not knowing where they want to live, where they want to settle. People move here and there, browsing around the world, or even just their own home country over where they want to settle and be grounded. So as a result, they avoid getting emotionally attached in their relationship just in case. Meanwhile, back in the days, you would develop long-term relationships more easily as you can see yourself sharing a future with your friends. You'll be emotionally dedicated to the relationships because just like your parents and their own parents before them, you would stick to the town you've been raised in, just like your own friends. Those who would move out and go abroad for good were, I think, scarce resource. And many would leave town to go at university, of course, even back in the days, but the goal was to always get back to their hometown at some point or settle in the town they studied in. And that still happens for many people in 2025. I'm aware of it. But here, I'm talking about those who are moving away, more specifically going abroad, sorry, far away from the environment in which they've been raised. And it's not only the person who's traveling who's not going to be able to invest in relationships. It's also the people he or she meets in this brand new environment. Because you simply are less likely to be a priority to your new friends. And you can't blame them for that. It just helps to acknowledge all what I've just said, to not take it personally. It's just a very primitive behavioral pattern, I think, from your new friends. So as for me, I've got to say that I'm quite in peace with, it's not I'm definitely at peace with all that that has to do with, not making friends first thing in the morning when you come in a new environment, a new country. And the first reason for that is because I'm a rather independent person, that I can say for sure. And the second one is that I grew up traveling quite a bit with my family. My brother and I have been raised being accustomed to making friends over and over and having to leave everything behind after a few years somewhere, as our family would be moving away. So, new country, new house, new school, new friends. So I think now it's been almost 9 minutes of me talking about loneliness. I can close my golden book and talk to you face to face, trying to find inspiration here, because as much as I was really inspired to write those words on my notebook, now my brain goes blank. But I think I don't really need to develop further on that idea of loneliness and the fact that loneliness is unavoidable when you're traveling around, just because you are traveling around. And so, you think about what you bring about, so you'll be bringing about around you, you'll be, people who travel will be attracted to you. People who are open, people who are used to meeting new people, they're going to be attracted to you. And so, of course, they're going to have the same pattern as you do. And don't be surprised if you're just not making friends as quick as you would. The same way, honestly, even staying in your home country, growing up, you're not going to make friends as easily as you did when you were a little baby child. But yeah, that's just what I've noticed after having traveled so many times in my life. I'm really grateful that I'm able to share all those thoughts with you. But yeah, we're not curing any kind of big disease here, and we're not solving any of the societal problem we have. I'm probably not helping anyone here, but maybe I don't care, because maybe at the end of the day, I am helping someone. Actually, I'm definitely helping someone. I think I'm helping myself. I'm helping myself. I don't know if I need help, but it just feels right to do that. I just love what I'm doing right now. Like talking to Mike. I am about to try and do a little show here, but I'm not going to do it because it's just going to change the vibe of the podcast. But yeah, I'm always so excited to be recording a podcast here. And I think I'm done with this topic of loneliness. I'm definitely done. But I definitely gonna record another episode after this one. I'm just a work alcoholic or a podcast alcoholic. Yeah, let's say that. What about that? I'm a podcast alcoholic starting from now. Yeah, I declare myself being a podcast alcoholic, and I would rather be a podcast alcoholic than any other kind of alcoholism. Alcoholism, I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, I'm done with this topic, and I'm done with sharing my thoughts on that. And so I hope it has maybe brought up some thoughts in your own brain, guys, in your own mind, because the podcast is called On Our Mind, so it's not just my mind, it's also yours. So you're very welcome to share what you have in mind, even though I'm still not sure I'm talking to anyone else but me here in this podcast, because I'm definitely always listening to my own podcast as soon as I share them, because I just love it. Yeah, I just love it. I'm proud. So yeah, okay, see you later, alligator. Ciao, take care.